October of 2017, we were assigned to represent Mr. Brian Bennett on this capital murder case that he was charged with. This thing stemmed from the March of 2017 capital murder of Delvin Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery was a music producer at a studio here in Dallas. He was found murdered in early morning hours of March 25th, I believe. Police started their investigation. They recovered several shell casings from a gun apparently that was used to kill Mr. Montgomery at the murder scene. They started following up on their investigations. They knew that a bunch of stuff had been stolen from the music studio. They started trying to find that merchandise and discovered that the next day that those items had been pawned at a local pawn shop by our client, Brian Bennett, along with 2 other individuals that were unidentified to them.
And so we requested all the evidence against Mr. Bennett that the police department was able to put together against him. So we pretty soon found out what their evidence was, and then we were able, with our investigation, to attack the evidence. And in this case, we were able to contradict every piece of significant evidence in the case against Mr. Bennett. And I never had any doubt from the first time we met Brian that he was not guilty. Judge John Creuzot and his office, after reviewing the evidence that we submitted, along with the original case reports from the Dallas Police Department, had in fact found that they could not present any type of a credible case to a jury, and they did the right thing and dismissed this case against Mr. Bennett. We have now moved to have all records of that arrest expunged, and that takes a certain amount of time to do, about 90 days to accomplish that. So that's where we are at this point. I've been practicing for over 40 years now in Dallas County, and I know that anytime a jury walks into a room and finds that a person has been indicted and is going to trial for the offense of capital murder, they tend to believe, starting out, that the person is guilty. They can't believe that a police department and a district attorney's office in 2018, 2019 would go so far as to try somebody for capital murder if they're not guilty. But that is in effect what had happened here in this case. And this didn't happen 30 years ago, it didn't happen 20 years ago, it didn't happen 10 years ago, it happened now.